Hello, my name is Robin Pathak. I'm a PhD student in learning technologies. Today I'm doing a presentation on Project B. The introduction to my presentation is Introduction to Lean Six Sigma. It's an instructional design model for nursing managers and it's a green belt training. This slide represents the digital snapshot of the instructional design timeline. You can see it will take almost about 2 hours for preparation and WebEx setup time, welcome and introduction to the course, roundtable introduction, and then it will take about 30 minutes for housekeeping and ground rule slides. Then after that, we'll be talking about introduction to Lean Six Sigma trainings, program vision and objectives, Lean Six Sigma green belt content, and course activities. This takes almost about 5 hours, and we'll have the question and answer session for about 30 minutes. When the participants reach this phase, these two phases, the introduction to Lean Six Sigma and the question answer round phase, their objective will be met. So the goals and objective of the training will be met on this stages. Then we'll also have a course evaluation and a wrap-up time for a reflection that will be almost about 60 minutes. Let's talk a little bit about the housekeeping rules. So if anyone has to use the restroom, please go ahead and write in the chat box and use the restroom uh, so that we would know that you are away from your desk whenever there's a pop-up quiz that comes up. We could consider that you're using using the restroom at that time. If you get any calls from if you get any calls on your cell phone, please do take it if it's very urgent or emergency. Otherwise, please avoid the call. If you need any breaks, please mention in the chat box and we can take a 5-10 minutes break whenever that's necessary. And always, I would like to check the temperature of the room or the participants so that they would be able to know what's the objective of the training, where are they standing, and how we can make some icebreaker activities. Thank you. So some of the ground rule activities are respect others, participate as much as you can on the chat box, ask many questions as you want, and please do provide feedback. So I'd like to talk a little bit about the introduction. Please do introduce your name and what is the expectation of this training. So now let's do activity number 1. This activity is called the sticky note activity. You'll see a lot of notes that has been stuck on the desk. I would like you to use the sticky notes that's present on the screen and try to place it on the appropriate section wherever you think you fall. The questions of the activity are: how are you feeling today? What problem brought you here today? What are you what are you expecting to learn from this course? Let's go through the Lean Six Sigma program vision. Develop a lean transformational mindset, demystify quality improvement efforts, empower the culture appetite for change, be the context and voice of change. So now let's have a roundtable introduction. Can you please introduce yourself by stating your name, your department, an interesting fact about a project overview. So what is lean? Eliminating waste and show respect for people, making the right work easier to do, work in a series of ongoing experiments, reveal problem immediately, problems addressed immediately, almost like a rapid experimentation, solutions disseminated, collective experiment, everyone taught to be experimentist. So let's talk a little bit about lean methodology. There's 3 types of events in lean methodology. It's the Kaizen events, 5S, and Kanban. So Kaizen events are like planned and structured processes. It's a small group, quick focused improvement. 5S is mainly used to reduce waste, improve workplace organizational and visual management. Kanban theory has been used as Japanese for signal, card, or sign, physical signals to indicate time to order, from whom, and quantity. So what is Lean Sigma? Attention to managing, improving, and reinventing business processes. Use facts, data, and statistical analysis. Understanding internal and external customer needs. Standard deviation, used to measure the amount of process variation, and quality measures and goals. So when we talk about the Six Sigma methodology, always it comes to mind is the DMAC theory. DMAC is define, measure, analyze, improve, and control. So do any of you guys know what is the difference between Lean and Six Sigma? So this slide clearly explains about difference between Lean and Six Sigma. You would see three columns here. One's the attribute, one's the Six Sigma, and one's the Lean. You'll see Six Sigma mainly focuses on reducing variations, whereas Lean focuses on removing or reducing waste. The different factors that I said, the methodology that I already have mentioned is the DMAC theory, define, measure, analyze, improve, and control. That comes under the Six Sigma phase. Whereas identifying the problem and designing the solution, implementing the solution, improving continuously is Lean. If you look at the key tools and techniques, you'll be able to see different variables, statistical methods is used to measure Six Sigma, whereas the value stream mapping, Kanban theory, 5S are used for the leans. The primary effect of the Six Sigma is to bring a good process output, whereas lean is reducing the waste and reducing the flow of time. So now let's talk a little bit about process improvement. Do any of you in the group or the training know what process improvement is? Please type it on the chat box. So let's talk a little bit about the lean foundation. The first thing that comes into mind when you talk about lean foundation is level loading. If you can see the both diagrams, you will see one is very scattered. The workload is not managed with time, where the other one with leveling, you'll see workload is managed with time. So always it's good to have workload that is managed with time. So the next foundation of lean is continuous improvement. On every project or anything that we do in the hospital setting, inside the emergency department or in the inpatient ward, continuous improvement plays a big aspect for patient care. So whenever you see this circle here, you'll know that improving, measuring, and managing needs to be the primary goal of continuous process improvement, where we'll be managing the people, the system, and the process. And at the very center, you'll see performance. That's where our measurement and our output is mainly seen. The next foundation for lean is associate empowerment. You can see how the associate needs to be promoted, taken care of, and all of their different aspect needs to be met so that they would be happy and they could grow in their organization so that they can do a better work and improve the level of the organization. So the next lean foundation is standardized work. You have to do the best practice ever with good quality, good analysis, and good development skills. So all of the work needs to be standardized as far as possible. So the major that I see a lean foundation is fixing the problem at the source. If you see any problems wherever it's occurred, if you can fix that, that will maintain the process. It will help to streamline the results. So always try to fix a problem wherever you see at the source. Like if there's someone waiting in a line in the emergency department, try to find the alternate place for them to sit down and make them relax. Try to see if there's any other staff that's available inside the ED who can take care of them. So you can fix the problem at the source so they don't have to spend thousands of minutes standing in the line to take care of their health. So the next aspect of Lean Foundation is mistake-proof leading. Always, I encourage everyone to recheck their work again and again. Try to proofread again so that the right message goes to the doctors as well as the other staffs whenever you type in the information about the patients on the software. So now let's talk a little bit about Lean Framework. Whenever you talk about Lean Framework, you would see the PDSA cycle. PDSA means plan, do, study, and act. So this goes round by round on every projects that you do with Lean, whether it's in the hospital setting or whether it's outside as well. I would really like you guys to focus and take notes on the PDSA and keep this as one of your um, tools that you would use in your workplace. So there's more notes on PDSA, plan, do, study, and act. Again, I won't go through the whole of this slide, but I would really like you guys to focus on this and make some notes on the PDSA cycle. Thank you. So now let's talk a little bit about the tools for Lean Six Sigma. So the first thing that we should understand about Lean Six Sigma's tools is like problem statement. We should understand where the problem is and know what the problem is. So you should always make a note or see or analyze to identify the problem. Ask yourself what is happening. Is this right or wrong? And try to set a goal where you say what should be happening. What do you think should be happening at that place? Um, Let me give you an example. If someone is standing on the line for emergency department to take care of patients, so should they be standing there for 5 minutes, 10 minutes? How much do you think should be the standard time they should be waiting in the line? And what is the goal that you would think that you could achieve? Like if they're standing there for about 15 minutes, do you think 15 minutes is good? If you think that's a problem, then try to set up a goal saying that they should be only waiting for 5 minutes to see a nurse or a healthcare provider. That's how you have to identify the problem statement. Okay, let's talk a little bit about activity number 2. This is called the A3. This is the size of an A3 paper. This table is presented in an A3 size paper where you'll be able to write down your problems, write down the title of your project, what is the background or measurements that you're taking, or how did that problem start. Write down the current state of the problem and of the project, the process, how it has been doing these days. Write down the root cause analysis after that. So identify 5 to 6 different points that causes the problem. And then after that, write down the target state. What do you want to achieve, or should be the target stage? Then I suggest you to find out 5 or 6 different countermeasures to solve those problems. Write those things down as a countermeasures as well. And then when you see the completion plan here, what is the problem that you had, who is solving it, when is it going to be solved by, and what is the expected outcome, and how much cost savings does that problem have for the department. So this A3 will really be it's a snapshot of a whole big project where you see the problems, you identify the problems, you note down the problems, you talk about countermeasures. This will really help the stakeholders or the policymakers to understand what needs to be changed on different projects. So this is the current state process map. I encourage every one of you to try to draw a current process state of your department and see where the process flows, where are the problems, and feel and understand the whole process of how emergency department or inpatient ward in a hospital works. So let's talk about root cause analysis. You can see a tree here that has got the roots and the green leaves are on the top. So the root is just like how you see the root on a tree that's going way down, deeper, spread it all apart. That's how the problems are normally in any organization. You won't be able to see the problem, but it's deep down in there and it's like roots. So I would like you to identify the root cause or the different problems that you're having in your organization, especially in the emergency department and in the inpatient wards in the hospital settings, so that you would be able to identify the different root causes of those problems. So let's talk a little bit about value stream map. So this is a map that you can create in Visio or any other software tools. This map will help you to value stream the different processes of your map, and it will help you to identify the time and how much um, work has been done in the time. So the next tool for root cause analysis is 5 whys. So you ask yourself why, and why. So if you ask yourself these questions 5 times, saying why, then you'd be able to identify different reasons of the problems, and then you'll be identify the root cause for those problems. Let's take a look at activity number 3. This is also the root cause analysis tool. It's called the fishbone diagram, and it's also called the cause and effect diagram. So you'll see the picture is like a fish where you see the head and you see the fins there. So different fins are the different causes, and whatever is your effect is the head. So all of these causes plays a big result on the effort. So here's an example of a fishbone diagram. It's about back injury. If someone has a back injury, what were the causes of back injury? It could be the materials, it could be equipments, it could be people, it could be the environment, it could be their skill, or it could be patient. So, and you see the different fins among the different headings, like how many staff members were there in people? Did the person work overtime so he had a bad back injury? If you see equipments, was the bed at a proper height for that person to pick up the bed? What materials that the person used? What was the environment of the work environment? Was the floor slippery or not? Did the person have CNA experience? If not, then that could be the cause of the back injury. So let's talk a little bit about the Pareto chart. This is also one of the root cause analysis tool, and this is also called the 80-20 rule as well. You can see a chart where it has got numbers there, and then it has got the complaints there. So it's like nursing's communication, delay in nursing response, delay in doctor's response, doctor's communication. These are the list of the problems and how many people has it affected. You can see total number there on the scale here. So what Pareto chart says is that the biggest number of problems that's happening right now, you see there's more than 500 problems with the nursing communication. So that's the highest problem. So if you solve that problem, then 80% of your projects will be solved. And then you can solve the remaining 20 in a later time. That's what the Pareto chart represents. So let's talk a little bit about target state, the future goals. So whenever we talk about the future, it will focus on the SMART goals. It's called SMART, and S stands for specific, M stands for measurement, A stands for attainable, R stands for relevant, T stands for time bound. So why do we do measurement? So always ask yourself, why are we measuring this? What is it for? Always ensure that they are effective and useful. Try to focus on the time, the quality, the cost, and the productivity whenever you do measurement. So let's talk about lean daily management. Lean daily management is the process of capturing the measurement of every nurse that works in the department. So this will help. The lean daily management process promotes employees' ownership of their operational performance. It creates a no fault culture, reinforce continuous improvement. Associates often responds well to its transparent, fact-based nature. So you'll see different huddle boards throughout the hospital department. Every department has a huddle board where the measurement is taking place on what the nurses is doing with each patient. So the huddle board is a visual management tool. It keeps team focused on the key goals, daily goals. Huddling keeps associates and leaders connected, and it also helps to connect with the goals and connect with each other. So huddle is really important in each and every department. So activity number 4 is applying lean principles to the emergency department. There's a small video here that focuses on how lean principles are used in the ED. Let's go ahead and watch this video. Okay guys, now we're in the Six Sigma phase. Let's talk a little bit about the DMAC theory. This is mainly focused on the Six Sigma, and this is the main tool for green belt managers, where DMAIC is DMAC, D stands for define, M stands for measure, A stands for analyze, I stands for improve, and C stands for control. So this is a very busy table, this very busy slide where you'll see the define measures, define, measure, analyze, improve, and control. You'll see different aspects of different projects like project charter, voice of the customer, the Pareto chart, root cause. You'll see all of those tools that's used in DMAC. I won't go through this whole slide, but I would really like you to focus, print this out and keep it for yourself and try to see what different tools are used in the DMAC theory. So let's talk a little bit about statistics. Whenever we talk about statistics in Lean Six Sigma, we always have to talk about standard deviation. So you see the chart here, and our goal is to improve our process capability. This translates to the need to improve the process mean and reduce the standard deviation. So we have to improve the process of mean and reduce the standard deviation. And the standard deviation should not be more than 3.4. So the key objective of the measurement phase is to identify the key measures, make a data collection plan and execute the same, establish current process, capability and improve and goal, and display variation. So the different method of data collection is through trend charts, process map, and histogram. I've got some pictures there on the right hand side for you guys to view, and I would like you guys to go and make these charts yourself and practice and understand this. Also, cross-functional process map is really important for the Six Sigma measurement. So we have the different attribute control charts. They are the C charts, P charts, U charts, and X bar charts. These charts plays a vital role in identifying the mean and making the standard deviation less for Lean Six Sigma. So the Pareto chart, I think we talked about this before as well, about the Pareto chart, and it's a chart, it's also called the 80-20 percentage chart. So this is a chart that you can create on your Excel screen or on any other tools where you'll be able to identify what is the main cause of any problem, what's the 80% cause, and you can work your way down with the numbers, with the statistical numbers on the Pareto chart. And if you solve the 80% problem, then that will basically help you to solve the biggest problem inside your project. Okay guys, we're almost at the end of the day. So let's focus on 3 questions right now before we leave. What will you take back to your work area? Where do you go from here? If you have any questions, please reach out to me. We can always talk through email or phone, and we can go through the different problems that you're facing inside your emergency department or in your nursing areas. So the next step Next step is one or two problems identified today. Create an action plan. Follow up with process improvement team. Remember, change takes time. Encourage problem solving. Implement solution as a team. So once you reach your home, you'll be able to get a survey from me. Especially, we want to know how we did for this program, for this training. It's going to be a survey from SurveyMonkey. We would really encourage you to do that. This is also going to be one of your assessment tools that's used. So I would really love you guys to finish the survey and send that back to me as soon as possible by tomorrow or by end of this week. Thank you.